All right, well, we're on a roll here, so we might as well just keep going on. You all saw me install a nuke last weekend for my sister's house. Since then, I've actually added a deep super onto that hive, and this is it right here. I've actually dictated what hives have bees in them and what don't, because I have too many boxes in my yard right now. But going into last winter, I had 8 hives, so it only made sense to have this setup, and then through the winter I lost 5 of them. Currently I'm back to 4 hives, so I jumped from 3 to 4. Nothing crazy, thanks to my sister though, or I would still be stuck with 3 hives. As you all saw in an earlier video, I had a hive swarm earlier, and they actually were able to successfully requeen themselves. She's back mated, laying eggs, and looks like they have, oh shoot, I only pulled 3 frames out of the brood, the bottom deep super brood chamber, and all 3 of those frames, they had really great larvae on them. Good larvae, good eggs, everything looked really well. So without further ado, and enough talking here, I'm just going to crack into this box and show you all how the nuke has progressed. I think the quantity of bees is almost, not quite doubled. I would say they've added probably 35% of their numbers, which is good. We went initially from 5 frames of bees to probably 8 frames or so. I probably may not have should have added this deep on here, but the reasoning I did was the frames that I added to the nuke initially were already drawn out with comb, and they were just very nice dark brood frames that my other hives had been using. And I figured that it was a great start for the queen to just go and lay at her will, and for the colony to kind of go out and extract resources as they could. And then by adding the second deep super, I didn't want to just hesitate any of their process. I wanted to just kind of let them go. You know, we're early June here in central West Virginia, and although, you know, our tulip poplars and blackberries and the autumn olive is done blooming out, there's still a lot of good stuff out there for them, and I think it's just a great opportunity to give them a good strong start here. So again, without further ado, I'm going to crack into this hive and just show you guys kind of where this nuke went to. Here's this top cover. I'll just pull this up and show you the inner cover real quick. We got a few bees just hanging out on top, which is always a good sign. Just it's always a great sign if you see the inner cover and you're seeing a little bit of comb on the top. That's the perfect indicator that you need to add a box, because they wouldn't draw comb out where they are if they didn't need room. So again, I'm gonna pull off the inner cover here real quick, and I might get some angry bees. It's kind of late in the evening here. It's been overcast a little bit today, but it's sunny. We just got a few clouds blocking us out right now, so I'm just gonna be nice and easy and gentle. A lot of times people say that you need to go full everything with gloves and not, but it's all relative. You know, if you're calm and careful with your bees, you don't pose much of a threat to them. But if you start going in here and clanging and banging around and being fast with your movements, then yeah, you're probably going to get stung. So again, I'm just going to pull this middle frame here, see kind of what we're looking at. Maybe the queen's moved up. If she hasn't, that's okay too. I do know she's been busy laying in the bottom. I checked this hive just a few days ago. I've got nothing better to do. You know, I love my bees. I love hanging out with them. It's almost like a therapy session of sorts. That may sound silly, but so no, we don't have anything going on up here. And I'd expect, this is a central frame, I'd expect to see, if they did move up in the box, I would expect to see it right in the middle 2 frames, 2 or 3 frames. So I am going to pull the next 2 frames over in the middle, but this is really just a drawn comb frame. There's no eggs, there's no nectar or pollen. They've not really used these frames too much, other than just kind of probably exploring their space, what they have available to them. But now these next 2 frames over do have a little bit of bees on them. So we're gonna just nice and easy again, you don't need gloves all the time. Just be calm and gentle. Just be nice and easy. I'll pull this frame and look. I see just a few cells that have nectar in them, and that's about it. So with seeing that, I'm not even gonna fool with pulling the next frame. I'm gonna set this guy back in here, put this other one back, then I'm gonna pull this top super real quick and just pull a couple frames in the bottom brood box and see if we can either one, find the queen, or two, just get a good idea of what's going on inside here. So crack that corner. Yeah, this box is still very light. You can see I'm not very strong, but I can still crank that up. It's probably only about 10 pounds, so it should be. If it was full of bees and larvae and honey and nectar and everything else, that box would probably weigh about 30 pounds. And you'd see me grunting. So here's back to the nuke that went to the deep chamber. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 frames of bees. So again, I might have been a little early on adding the second deep box. I may have wanted to see 8 or 9 bee spaces worth of bees in here, but again, the frames that I gave them, they didn't have to draw them out. They're already drawn. They're ready to be worked. At the most, they may have to go clean them up, and then the queen can come in, start laying. They can start backfilling with nectar and honey, or nectar and pollen rather. And just want to give them a lot of space. I don't want to have another hive swarm on me. To be honest with you, I'm a little gun shy on that. I had it happen once. I don't want to lose my girls. I don't want to lose my girls again. So I'm just going to pull one of these frames I actually stuck in from the nuke, just to get a good idea on what's going on inside of this colony. And this frame is extremely heavy, so I'm expecting a lot of honey. It was stuck in there with propolis. So what we got is honey in the corners. You can see honey up here, a lot of honey back in here, and that's typical. There'll be like a crescent moon is what. Oh, she stung me too right there. Look at that. That's unbelievable. That's just, I need to fix that real quick because that's somewhat painful. Try not to let on, but it's just part of it. That's tough. I wasn't even doing anything there. You all saw that. You'd vouch for me. But as you can see here, we got a bunch of pollen. And then on this side, we got some spotty brood, which is probably due in part to her. Who knows? Maybe she had a hard time getting started right there. But within that spotty brood, though, it's all backfilled with larvae. It's larvae that'll be capped over in just a few days. So there's nothing to worry about there. I do see, I saw one queen cup over here. Let's see if I can't get some of these bees to move out of the way and find that. You can almost just touch them with the back of your hand and they'll move out of the way, but the queen cup was on the other side. Good gracious. It's a bunch of pollen around there. I don't expect to find an egg, and there's not. So I'm just gonna set this frame actually outside the hive to the side. Give me a little space here real quick and see if I can't get stung again. Pull another frame. Again, we're still moving really slow. I don't want to get these girls too fired up here. So you can see this frame too. It's again a little spotty, but I'd almost bet you that within those spots of cat brood that it's backfilled with larvae, which is just fine. And it is. There's actually eggs in there. There's eggs backfilled, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't find a queen right here, really handy, maybe on the other side of this frame. But we've got good larvae. We've got good eggs. I'd say this nuke's off to a pretty strong start. And again, I'm not gonna show you guys cracking this thing back closed. All I'm gonna do is I just put this 9th frame in here. I'm gonna stick the 10th frame back in, put the super back on, and call it a day. but it's good to see that the hive's still rolling. Queens laying good. We got fair brood pattern. You know, it's not ideal per se, but we definitely have seen that she's back filling. It's almost like a timing essence where she laid eggs at one point in time where maybe there was nectar or pollen backfilled, and then since then the bees have either moved the pollen or nectar and cleaned out some cells where she was able to come back in and lay. So it's almost like there's like a week offset where she laid eggs one point, came back in a week later and laid eggs again, and then now clean frames, which that's not the end of the world. You know, you're still getting the best use of your cells. Your queen's laying, she's filling them up, and it may not be the best appealing look to the eye seeing a brood frame spotty like that, but again, that's why you take closer inspection and look upon that, and you can see, okay, it's capped brood on half of it, but and the other half is it's larvae or eggs. And you know, at the end of the day, you're using all your cells, and that's really what you're looking for. So you see these girls, they're getting a little aggravated with me. I'm not really sure what I've done to do that, but I'm gonna hop off here, and I hope you all have a great evening and take care of yourselves. You owe it to yourself. All right, be good, take care.